I love being in contact with so many different businesses and so many different people from different backgrounds. I love the variety about my job. It never gets boring. And I love the feeling of creating something new, of making something new that has never been here before. I don't know, I don't have children, but it feels somehow like giving birth to something completely new, which is meaningful, and my clients can really fulfill their dreams and start a profitable business with our designs, and this is just a very, very nice feeling. That depends on where I work. Normally I work at home in Innsbruck in Tyrol. I get up at 6:30 in the morning, then I have a quick morning meditation, I get ready, have some breakfast, and then I walk into my office, which is luckily only 2 or 3 meters away. Then I normally start with the main client project of the day in a deep work session. I always call it deep work session, for 4 or 5 hours with main mental focus on it to really get things done. And normally, that's normally the case, but sometimes I have to admit I'm weak and I check my emails or social media accounts before I start my main project of the day, and then I'm really mad at myself because it's not very productive, but also happens to me. But normally I start my day with the main project of the day. Then at noon I check my emails for the first time and I do some calls depending on if somebody called me or not. Then I make myself some lunch. I always try to keep my lunch break as short as possible in order not to go out too much of my productivity flow. Then I continue working, continue to be creative and design for my clients. I respond to client requests. I'm in touch with my team depending on what's going on that day. And yeah, in the evening, early evening, depends. I always drive to the gym, which is a very good time setting or time deadline for me as well in the day. Because, for example, when I know at 6:30 there's legs, bumps and tums in the gym, I know I have to leave home at 6. So I have to finish work by 6, which gives me a good time efficiency. And then I drive to the gym. I train for 1.5 to 2 hours in one go for 5 times a week. Then after that, drive home, make myself a salad. Then it's normally 9 or 10 p.m. and I relax a little bit and go to bed. When I work abroad, my working routine is basically the same, but depending on where I am, my private life changes, depending on if I have access to a gym or not. In Crete, for example, I unfortunately don't have access to a gym. So I always train at 6:30, 7 in the morning, otherwise it just gets too hot for training. Or when I'm in Tel Aviv, for example, I luckily did have access to a gym and then I just went swimming to the sea after the gym. So my work routine is the same, but my private life changes depending on where I work. First and foremost, a great product. Then you need to understand your clients and you need a first-class branding to make all of that visible to the public. I would best compare a branding with a human body. Imagine branding is like a human body. The logo is the heart, so to speak, and the branding keeps all of its components together nicely and perfectly, and branding makes sure that all individual components work perfectly with each other. This is how I would best describe a branding. The most important step, I would say, is the briefing. For me as a brand designer. I always feel like a psychologist because I really pinpoint my client and ask many questions. For me as a branding designer, it's essential to understand the core values of the brand to be so I can make everything visible in the branding. Sports. I'm an absolute gym junkie. I love every group course where I really sweat and with a lot of power, like Zumba, breakathletics, HIIT training, legs, bumps and tums, and so on. I also love dancing, especially salsa dancing, Latino dances. I love listening to music, and my one big passion, I would say, is traveling, because traveling really widens my horizon. I see things from a different angle, from a different perspective, and it really enriches my, I would even say, entrepreneurial life and my private life alike. And I also love to go to the sauna, the original naked sauna, of course. Since I was 6 years old, I went to the sauna once or twice a week with my parents, because my parents do have a big sauna area at home. And after the sauna, I of course jump into the ice cold water lake. I would say this drinking cup in red with a metal straw. I use it every day for my hot ginger water, and it stays warm throughout the day, and it looks really stylish.